Hi everyone, welcome to Natalie's mini review episode 4. This episode, I would like to talk about the standard for securing the cryptocurrency system. So this typical standard is actually derived from the information security standard, like the ISO 27001 and NIST standard for the cybersecurity, and it has been tailored to be matching with the cryptocurrency environment, like how the key is being key, what are the processes of the wallet generations, the key and seed generation, for example. And in this standard, actually has been divided into 3 levels. Depends on what type of the parties being involved in the cryptocurrencies. The first one is the actually CCSS level 1 self-custody. This is actually dedicated for the self-custody. The second one, CCSS level 2, actually dedicated for the qualified service provider or the QSP. The third one is for the full system. We can see more information in the next slide, which actually trying to explain you what are the characteristics of the self-custody, the qualified service provider, and the full system. Starting from the first one, self-custody is actually the system that hold all keys to the system that control the entity's own fund. Example is the Web3 marketing firm that accept cryptocurrency and they control that private key for the system used to control their funds. The second one is the qualified service provider. The qualified service provider is actually a system that meets many of the requirements of the CSS certification with the exception of the few requirements that another system has control over. A qualified service provider is a system that custodies services to other systems and therefore is the only required to meet certain requirements. This means that a system uses a QSP that audit focus is only on a few remaining requirements to become certified. The example of the QSP are the systems such as the hardware security module or the HSM, or the multi-party computation MPC that provide key management services that used by another system entity. The last one is full system. Full system is actually information system that meet all applicable CCSS requirements in totally. In situation where an information system utilizes CCSS certified qualified service provider information system, for example, the wallet infrastructure provider wallet software, as a part of their information system, some CSS requirement may be met by QSP information system. Our example of the full system are a system that can reach quorum without any additional system, or a system such as a chain that incorporates QSP into that system. The next domain, actually, the CCSP have a multiple requirement or domains that the corporate or the service provider or the QSP has to be compliant with, or even including the self-custody. First one is the crypto asset management. And actually, the second one is for the wallet creation, the key storage, key usage, the key compromise policies, the operations such as data sanitation policies, and the audit log or regular audit of the information security system to the cryptocurrency environment. I want to start from the crypto asset management. I want to give you some of the background information, how the wallet, the key actually being created, generated, how it's being relevant, and how can you own the asset on the blockchain, such as the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. The concept is actually all about the information, which are the private key and public key. You need to know these two type of key because it's being used all the time that we have being involved in the cryptocurrency security. Cryptographic key pairs are actually used to send and receive Bitcoin or Ethereum or other coin and so on in the blockchain. Why we need a key pair? Because a key pair is the identification of your own address and your asset. Okay, a key pair is a compromise of the private key and the corresponding public key. Private key are actually used to send Bitcoin and must keep secret. This is very important. How can you, if you have your own wallet, to like keep the crypto assets in the wallet, you need to have your own private key to that wallet, and it has to be secure. It has to be keeping secret. Otherwise, the other can actually transfer your asset from your wallet out because they know the keys to your wallet. The public key actually are used for receiving Bitcoin. It can be shared with anyone. So because of the digital assets is being shared across the blockchain, right? So you need to have a public key that's shared to anyone. And then when the public key shared to anyone, they can use that as a reference to send or receive Bitcoin. Okay. Next slide. Next slide is actually about seed. The reason why I need to talk about seed is actually trying to emphasize, giving you a fundamental concept of the crypto security first. Seed actually, or the Bitcoin seed, otherwise known as the numeric phase, or seed phase, or seed words, actually are representative of a large randomly generated number as a sequence of words that are more accessible to humans or than the binary outputs. For example, if you can see the example here in the slide, you can see the punch, short, entire node bar identifying actually being like easily recognized by the human than using 01010010101110001, right? So that the reason we need to have the numeric sentence or numeric phrase here. And this entropy actually is like we can like use entropy to make a pseudo random number because we can't generate the random number solely using the algorithm or the static figures because it won't be secure anymore. You need to have a random like time relative or something or the slice of time to put into the entropy here in order to generate the pseudo random number to make it really random, and it's being very difficult or hard to hack. Okay. A seed can be used to generate a hierarchical deterministic or HD wallet. Next slide on the wallet creation. Any address in a little wallet naturally is what to scale. It requires minimum of 2 signatures or the multi-site wallet in order to spend the fund. Sometimes it can be by system or the system and to system, human to system. System really can be seen in the MPC. Okay. And this in the photo here is actually trying to giving you a rough idea how the private key, public key can actually be a representative of your own digital asset on the blockchain. So you can see that the private key derived some of the revision of the public key, so it will be put out as an Ethereum address on the blockchain. So in order to get access to the asset or the Ethereum on the blockchain, you need both private key and the public key. Next slide, I'm going to talk about the key storage because the private key is very important, right? Because it's the identification of it's a key to unlock your asset on the blockchain. So it has to be kept secure, no one knows. It has to be backup. It has to have multi-sites. It has to be securely generated from the system. Okay. Some of the organizations need to have documented policies about the key storage as well. So in order to ensure that the key is being kept securely, and you have implemented restricted access to the keys. So should not have anyone know the keys in the organization, even in the sales custody, in the QSP, for example. Touching on the key storage, the cryptographic key or seed has to be stored with the use of the strong encryption when they are not in use. A backup of the cryptographic key or seed must exist. The backup can take any form, like for example, paper or digital. A backup must exist for at least as many keys as required to span. A backup may of as many keys is required to spend fund reduce risk of inability to access assets. For example, 2 to 3 signing setup, where any 2 or 3 keys are required to spend fund. Backup must exist for at least 2 of these keys. In any 5 of 9 setup, backup must exist for at least 5 keys. Going on the next one on the key usage. So the backup key has to be like protect against the environmental risk like fire, flood, or the other catastrophes. The backup key must store in a location that is separate from the user's location of the primary key or seed. Backup are actually resistant to electromagnetic pulse. Otherwise, the data would be totally deleted because of the magnetic pulse. Backup key is access control. The backup key must be protected to prevent unauthorized from any third parties that are unauthorized persons. Or the backup key has to be tamper evidence sealed, or in the email log has to be tamper sealed. What about key compromise policy? So, given in the situation, the key are intentionally hacked by the hacker. So what are the steps that your organization will do? So even like there are many of the QSP or the cryptocurrency operator, they actually use the service of the key custody outside the country, like overseas. You need to buy an insurance policy to cover, or in the event that the key is being compromised, key loss, or key is being hacked. So these are some of the security requirements or control that you can like implement or use on the key compromise policies. What's more, you need to access to the primary key or seed requirement using an identifier and at least 2 other factors of the authentications. And the only authorized operator should have access to the key. It's very important. Access to the keys require an identifier like username, email, GID, or at least 3 other factors of authentications. All keys are used in a trust environment. Trust environment means that the computer or the network has to be secure, audit, or be certified. For example, ISO 2701. NIST cybersecurity has to be assessed before using the application in such computing environment. All key holders need to have their reference check prior to being trust or to hold one of the organization key seed. All key seed holder individual organizations need to have undergone identity verification to ensure that they are who they say they are. need to have background check to people operator that know the key information, whether they have any criminal background in the past. No two bicycle seat are the same multi-signature wallet are even it was present on same UI. Digital signature must use key value that is never repeated. This is very important on the key value actually. It actually regarding to create an unguessable and unrepeatable manner. This can be accomplished through the use of deterministic random bit generator or DRBJ that is compliant with the NIST-SP 800-90A or the deterministic scheme compatible with the RFC 6979. A common implementation of this is to use the pseudo-random number generator PRG supplied by popular operating system on RFC 6979 compatible scheme. Moving on to the next one, I'd like to touch more about the operation aspect. The organization can be something like the security test and audit need to have legally on the system. Legal assessment by the independent qualified third parties. And security audit at the similar level to SOC 2, SAE 3402 or ISO 27001 that includes vulnerability, penetration testing, and code audit, if applicable, has to be complete by the independent qualified third party. The data sanitation policy, this is really important because, like I said before, the entire concept of the cryptocurrency security is all about information of the private key or the public key. So the staff have to be aware of how data persists on the digital media after deletions. The staff also have access to tools to perform secure deletion of data and understand when to use such tool to permanently delete, destroy any transient copy of cryptographic key that may be required during maintenance of the information system. A detailed policy that aligns to NIST 80088 by outlining the requirement for sanitization of digital media that hold cryptocurrency key exists is read or understood by all staff who have access to cryptographic keys. The next slide, the last but not least, is about the audit log. Audit log has to be available, audit trail, or on all activity that relate to the keys, like key creation, key suspend, the activities, the transaction activity on the transferring of the crypto asset on the blockchain in and out on wallet. All actions have to be logged. An audit log needs to be retained at least 1 year in a trusted environment, or even the log has to be backed up in another system regularly, and it should not be in the same server or same location. I would like to thank you for listening to my episode 4 about the cryptocurrency security. And if I didn't prepare well in this presentation, but if I speak something that make you need understand about the concept and everything, you can give me a comment, or even you have any additional question that I can help in terms of the cryptocurrency security. I feel more than happy to help you out. So please feel free to comment under the text box below. So thanks for watching this episode again, and good to see you again in the next episode for the episode 5.